Greetings and welcome to another Autonauts tutorial. I'm KatherineOfSky, and in this episode we're going to talk about how to set up portable and automatic orchard digging. So this is going to apply to things like trees, like these fruit trees or berry bushes, those kinds of things, or even mushrooms, I guess. But this is for the initial digging kind of part, and also removal of turf and all that kind of stuff. So I did this over here, and the way I did it is with a sign. So I'm actually holding this sign right now. Oops, or I was holding this sign. Let me go pick it back up again. And this sign is linked to an area, and you'll see this area is moving. So what if we decided to make an orchard out here? I think that's a good idea. Let's go ahead and change the sign, and we press Z to do that, or Z. And you can select the area here, and we can max this area out if we want to, or we can change it to any size we want. Let's make a small kind of thing like this. And be careful if you can link the area or not. So if we unlink the area, then we can walk around with the sign and the area is going to stay put. But and I'm going to put the sign kind of in the middle of this area at this point. Oh no, whoops. Press Z again. And if we link it again, we'll walk around and actually move the thing around, which is kind of cool. So let's put this sign down. Now, what I have in this orchard prep area, I have 4 different bots. Now, the first very important bot is going to be the orchard turf digging one. So let's start that one up. He's going to kind of come off over here, and you'll see he's like, okay, let's follow the sign. How do we do this? Yes. So what we're going to do with that, and this is kind of important, is how to link these all the things together. So he's going to find the nearest turf in here, and he's going to start digging turf. And that's what he's going to do. He's going to spend time doing that, and we're going to leave him to his business. Now, as he's digging the turf, let's go ahead and set up the bot that needs to collect this turf, because there's going to be a lot of it, especially if you choose an all grassy area versus an area that has trees and stuff like this. For this kind of a thing, if you want to use this, I would say go and get a temporary lumberjack to cut down the trees. You can also do that, but it depends. If you're doing a fruit tree orchard, then you don't want to cut down those trees. So anyway, I usually borrow a lumberjack from somewhere else. Anyway, let's get someone to collect this turf. And that's going to be this bot over here. So let's just tell it to come on over. I'm going to call you Turf Collector, or Turf S. I'm going to do that, Turf Storage. Okay. And what I want you to do, Turf S, is not move, but I want you to collect turf. All you can. So go ahead and just do this forever, or not forever, until your hands are full. And then I want you to deposit it in this box. Try to choose a nearby box, but if it doesn't matter, then it doesn't matter. And then we'll go ahead and put the inner command, the add to turf dug storage, until your hands are empty. We don't need to keep moving, so the move can be outside of this, because you're already going to be standing there and just trying to chuck it in. And then go ahead and do this forever. Go ahead. Now, the other thing is, before we start the program, choose the area. We're going to click record, and we're going to choose this square. Now, it looks close, but it's not actually at the signpost. So instead of using this area, we're going to select structure and choose the signpost instead. And hopefully stuff doesn't fall outside the area. It shouldn't. The turf kind of lands exactly on the tile that it was dug from. So you should be just fine on turf digging. So let's go ahead and press play. And so because we chose the signpost, anytime we move the signpost, all of these bots are going to go and use that signpost to go ahead and do the thing. So the next one we want to set up going is the digging bot. So let's go ahead and get this guy. So this is find nearest soil, and he's over here in our other orchard that we planted. Move to soil, use the held item. Now the held item is going to be the crude spade. And I'm sure you know how to grab tools from storage, but let's just go over that real quick. We want to repeat this until his hands are empty. His hands are holding the spade. So when that wears out, he's going to drop out of this loop, which is basically finding the soil, moving and using the held item, digging a hole. When it wears out, he's going to move to the crude spade storage because there's nothing in his hand. So that is going to be over here. No, actually I put these. This one is crude spade storage 1 in the center of my base because potentially I could have an orchard dug over here or over here. And I'd rather him get it from the center of my town than anywhere else. So that's why I've chosen that. You can choose any storage you want though. Especially if there's one nearby. But remember, you're going to have to reprogram that kind of every time. Now, you'll notice that he does dig stuff kind of every other tile, but he'll only dig on regular soil. He won't dig on grass. So that's an important thing to note. So as you start digging this, what you can have is you can either plant seeds yourself, or you can have a bot doing that for you. So what I usually have is a bot to, sometimes I'll do a temporary bot to collect the seeds, sometimes not. Now you'll notice also that there are spaces in between. I tend to go and get a shovel and dig them. I have tried assigning a bot to dig in between and it doesn't work. Apparently it doesn't like. But remember that there has to be somewhere for the produce to fall when the bots harvest stuff, either berries or trees or whatever. Oh, look, they're digging over there now. Oh my gosh. That's funny. Anyway, so what I usually do in a situation like this, I'll show you that real quick. There we go. Let's put this spade down. All right. What I have is I have long rows of trees instead, and then rows of bushes. You can also, maybe you could do like like 8 bushes and then have a central tile open, something like that, just so that the berries can stack up somewhere. The weeds kind of fall all over the place, but these other things, they seem to want to fall on a tile that is empty here. So that's kind of important to think about when you're talking about rows. You don't want to do like full rows of everything, but the bots will definitely help you out in at least digging half the tiles here, which is pretty darn handy. Now what I've done here is I've planted a few apple seeds in the holes that we dug. And the next stage of the orchard setup is to set up some of the permanent bots and a temporary one. So if this is your real orchard, you are going to want to start harvesting these fruits. Obviously apples here, I was going to say berries, but yes. So we're going to teach a bot to do that. You're going to be the tree beater, because to harvest these, you are going to need a mallet, first of all. Let's move to the crate, get that. And then we're gonna start beating these trees. Move to fruit trees. All right, and then we're gonna stop this, and then, well, actually, we're gonna put this in a loop. Let's go here. And then put this ahead of this, and then do that forever. Now, we do want to change this so that we have a proper area for this, and we're not going to assign it to here. Now, what we can do is we can do it the traditional way here by just saying max area, or, you know, choose the area that you're going to have here. I think it's going to be like this big. And that's the area they can beat the fruit out of the trees. Or you can put another sign and do it that way. And just assign them to the sign. And that way it's easy to keep track of all the bots. We're going to just leave it like this for the sake of expediency. And just say go. And then this bot is going to be able to just proceed here. Oh, whoops. I made a mistake there. Until your hands are empty. Because you can't beat the tree with stuff not in there. So he's going to go and get a wooden mallet first of all, and then he's going to use it to beat the trees. And then we already have apples on the ground thanks to my example to that bot. So let's go ahead and teach another bot to collect these. So you're going to be the apple collector. All right, so then you collect these apples in this area. And again, we're going to move this over, say there, and then choose the over. Actually, and this should be a little bit bigger to let the apples fall on all sides of this area. Just make sure you have enough space and say okay. Let's go change our view here. Actually, we can't do that now apparently, so we'll just move it manually. All right, find the nearest apple in here. move it, pick it up. What I'm going to do is, in general, I think we just need to do the forever loop or until hands full. Okay, and then we'll put it into the box. And then again, we'll drop them all in until hands are empty. There we go. And then do that forever. So that's going to be our apple collector. And you'll notice we have quite a few holes that are not getting planted with trees. So these people, the apple collector, and I'm not sure where the other one went, but they should be here somewhere. They're fine. Ignore it. It's fine. I'm going to put them in their own apple collective. And let's see, where do you belong? The tree beater is in... Oh, that's right. It is in the orchard area, and it should not be. All right, we'll put that one down there. And let's put them in their own apple area. Let's get a new category here. We'll just say apple orchard. Orchard 2, because I have one already in my game, and say yes. And then collect these by control clicking them. And then we'll put them up here in the apple orchard 2, because the team is the other one that I have. And these guys are gonna have to wait ages for these trees to sprout new apples. So why don't we have another bot, this one being called the apple planter. And you are going to go to the box and just plant seeds. And I don't want them to get their hands full because we may not have enough apples in there. I just want them to plant every time they see an apple, just plant it in the ground. Go for it. So also we're going to set the area for this bot. Now this one is a little bit different than the others because we won't need to plant these constantly. That's only something that you would need to do for mushrooms, and that's going to be part of the permanent setup for that. But for berries and for trees, this bot probably should be called temp apple planter because we won't need them after the whole field is planted. But anyway, that is how you would set up an orchard, and here that bot goes. Hopefully, hello? Are you doing stuff? Repeat forever? Go! Oh, I stopped him. That's right. Because I wanted to change the area they were doing stuff in. Nice! Look at this. Getting stuff. Oh, whoops. We're planting. We have an extra apple in our hands, but that's not that important. But anyway, all of these little trees will start to grow and you'll get more and more. And as I said again, you can dig these holes yourselves and the apple planter will help you by planting the apples already gathered and stuff like that. And again, if you want to move the entire structure, just pick up the sign and you can move it elsewhere. Just make sure to keep the permanent staff, i.e. the tree beater and the apple collector, keep them in their own separate categories so that they can do what they need to do. Thank you so very much for joining me. I hope this tutorial has been helpful for you. Take care of yourselves and each other, and I'll see you next time.